Strategic Moves with Lou. I'm Lou Italis with Strategic Realty, and with me today we have a brand new bank in Wichita Falls. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we are too.
Yeah. And of course, you know, this is like the hottest episode I think that we've done in a long time.
Yeah.
All these hot ladies.
Getting steamy back
I
here.
know, right? It's going to be like, woof, hold yourself.
You need some cold water.
Hold back.
I know.
Yep. Anyway, all right. So here we got Kara
I'm Kara Bradley,
Bradley. Okay.
I'm Yvonne Oden.
and we're with Flat Branch Home Loans, and actually we are a mortgage company.
Mortgage company. Sorry, not a bank.
No, that's okay. We're
You
different
don't. You
than a
can't go
bank
to the.
and
You
credit
can't go to
union.
your branch and actually open up an account, right?
No, you
It's
cannot.
just for mortgage.
No, you cannot.
That's good. That's good
But
though.
I think that what sets us apart from banks and credit unions is that we are a mortgage company. We focus on
Specialization.
mortgage process.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're great at what we do.
Yeah.
Perfected the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when that's all you do, you better have it down, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what's so great about them is, you know, I've seen so many different mortgage departments and everybody does it a different way, but when it's all you do, that's all you do is
It's
you
all
perfect
SOP.
it and you make it as smooth as you possibly can, and you don't have the distraction of the different departments, or the resources have to be split between you and this department and this department. I mean, it's all
About mortgage.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's really
Well,
good.
that makes it very unique in Wichita Falls. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And you guys actually will have a physical branch, correct?
Yes, we do. We have a temporary one now. It's not. Well, I'll use the realtor word. It's a little cozy. But it's perfectly sized for us for
Yeah.
now. And then we'll have we're looking for a new one now. So
Yep, we'll have
They
a
haven't given you any hints on where it's going to be.
I mean, we've got hints, but that's like really insider stuff.
Oh, we love insider stuff, though. We love that. All right. So, do you think that they're going to be like on a its own building, or are you guys going to be like in a little strip mall? You guys are going to have your
Yes,
own.
We're gonna have our
So
own.
maybe they're going to
building.
build something.
They could.
I mean,
If
maybe.
we're working on a deal right now, and if it falls through, we're gonna look at either doing a lease and build out like for 5-10 years, or we're gonna build our own location. So.
Well, if you guys do need a location, let me know. I've got that strip mall over at Sierra Drive over by the Walmart.
Gotcha.
Okay, perfect.
Keep it in mind.
It's right there by the AOG, and it's by the T-Mobile and the Veterans.
Good location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great location.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all about location,
Yeah,
location, right?
yeah.
Yes.
And it's by the Walmart, so you get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would like to see you guys in town, though. That's
yeah,
obviously
for
that's
sure.
more ideal,
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
like down Kemp
Accessible.
or
Yeah.
Lawrence or something
Yeah.
like that.
Once we do get our permanent location, we're gonna have like a grand opening. We're
Yeah.
gonna have
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
out, so
Definitely, it's going to be
Yeah.
exciting. All right, so tell us a little bit about the different mortgage products that you guys have as far as VA, FHA, and then you were also telling me that you guys don't have any overlays, so you don't have any third party. You don't sell it to the third party.
We do secondary market lending.
Secondary.
So, but we also offer servicing in house. We do VA, FHA, USDA, conventional. We are Ginnie Mae approved. So basically, we
There you go.
basically we follow the guidelines of the investor. So whatever Ginnie Mae, whatever Fannie Mae, whatever FHA, VA, whatever the guidelines are, we follow directly those. We don't have any additional lender overlays.
Okay. All right.
Makes it smoother, quicker. We can ask for far less documents, which makes it easier on everybody all around. There's less to review for the underwriter. There's less for the borrower to have to bring in. Makes it easier on everyone.
We don't like to say no.
Yeah. Well, I don't think any of us really like to say no too much.
Exactly.
Do you guys? So you do have a website, and people can apply directly on the website.
Yes, and we will have apps soon. Our marketing team is working on our getting our apps out there and links that the borrower can just go click on it, apply straight online, or a lot of people like to come in person. We like to do in person too, or I'll bring my laptop to you.
They're loan officers on the go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mobile.
Full service. Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, I mean, that's really the struggle for a lot of us here in Wichita Falls is that we wind up seeing a lot of these online lending companies, Quicken Loans,
Rocket
just to name a
Mortgage.
few, Rocket, or even Mr. Cooper, sorry, Mr. Cooper. And they can give the customers a pretty good interest rate, but the struggle for us as realtors to get that transaction done in a timely manner is very difficult because there's so many people touching those files.
Right.
Because you never know who's going to be touching it.
Right.
But you guys do the loans for the people that apply through you correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, sorry.
Yes, and I mean, we're local. We have the local lenders. We have local underwriting. I mean, we are a big company. We are in 22 different states. Flat Branch is based out of Columbia, Missouri. But it also makes it's awesome because we're also local.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. So we do have a little bit more control over what happens.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's just like if you walked into one of the local lenders here. I mean, that's what we are. We're here locally, but then we've got the resources behind us of a company that's well established, has been around for years. I believe
18.
between everybody, there's like 1,000 years of loan
Mortgage
officer experience.
Oh, well, that's
And
very
so
good.
to have those resources and the combination of the local is really great.
And getting a transaction done within that 30-day mark is not exactly a struggle for you guys right now at this market.
No.
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what we're seeing. We had our panel over, which you guys need to become. You guys just became affiliates of the board, but we did it. We're doing a quarterly. We do different classes for the real estate agents and for the affiliates. And this last quarter, we did an affiliate panel of experts with lenders and title companies and inspectors and stuff like that. And that was one of the things that the lenders were saying is that because of and an appraiser, the appraisals are taking such a long time that it's slowing down the process, and they're asking us to basically give them about a 45-day to close in order to accommodate a lot of the things that are going on right now with our shortages of manpower.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't ran into too much of that here lately. It's Caroline, Caitlin, Cammie, all from AmNet, and then Kara and I from Union Square. So we've already worked with these appraisers.
You guys have like a rock star panel on your. I mean, it's like, yes, we are a hot panel right here, but Jesus, you guys have a rock star panel. You got Carolina Groves. You got Caitlin Miller, and then Cammie Birch. Oh my gosh!
I mean,
and then
Kara
Bradley,
Yeah, I
and
mean, girls that I've admired for years. When I first was presented with this opportunity, even talking to my family and friends, like, should I? I mean, it's risky, it's new, but I mean,
go women power.
whenever
You guys
it's
need
like
a rocket.
your mortgage
I'm sure
idols,
you are.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say no to something like that. With just even getting to be around that. Yeah, that female power. Flat Branch's board actually is made up of mostly women, which, you
That's
don't
exciting.
see too often, especially in this industry. And I think it's a big nod to women and what we can do and how we're just go-getters and can multitask and can really do it all,
Yeah.
A lot of times better.
Yeah. Just let us out into the world and see how far we can take it, right?
Totally.
We have an awesome local team. We are all go-getters. Caroline didn't leave till almost 8:30 the other night working.
I know.
I mean, I take my laptop home. I worked till 10 o'clock last night after my daughter went to
Yeah,
sleep.
you just got to get it done.
Yeah, they're dedicated.
I love it. Weekends, we're available, too. I mean, it's the availability, the flexibility. We're available. We do have local hours. We're available in the office. It's 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. But, I mean, you can call me after hours. You can, I'll have my laptop with me.
That's always kind of like my bar as far as like a lender is concerned. If I can call you because as real estate agents, we don't always have a 9 to 5 schedule either.
Right.
So whenever we're going and showing properties, once we find something that our client likes, it could be like on a Sunday afternoon. And then you're like, well, then I guess we're going to have to wait until Monday to find out if this is something that you can do. So a lot of times I've had lenders in my pocket that I can send them to that I know are going to answer their call on the weekend. They might not be able to completely qualify them, but they'll at least be able to answer some of our questions.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
So
Good to have that resource in your back pocket. We're in there too now, right?
yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I've already sent a couple your way.
Yeah,
Just
you have, yeah.
we just got a little mix up in the translation, but we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, excited.
So do you guys have anything different that you do other than being just a mortgage company? Do you have any transactions that,
we can do manufactured homes with
that was fantastic. Yes, manufactured homes. That's the hardest thing to do in our industry is find a lender that will do a manufactured home.
Right.
And Flat Branch does.
Yes.
And you can do it as conventional FHA or VA or
Yes,
USDA.
Yes, and it's a learning curve for us all because coming from Union Square, coming from AmNat, it's not something that any of us have done before, but I'm telling you, just like we were saying, we're all go-getters. We're all going to learn it quickly. So the fact that we can offer that
that's
huge.
fantastic. Yeah. It's huge. It really is.
Yeah.
That's the struggle is that mobile homes are so hard to get lending for because it's not really considered. The risk for a lender is very high on those.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what was it else that we talked about? There was
The day one fast track.
the day one fast track, and then also your minimum loan amounts.
Minimum loan amount. I know for sure on a conventional loan, the minimum loan amount we can do is $30,000. That's on a purchase. Refi, we don't have.
You don't have any minimums?
No.
Okay. That's also huge because usually the banks don't want to do anything less than $50,000. I think FHA requirements are less than 50. Won't cover.
That might be a lender overlay versus
Correct.
the investor overlay.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot of lenders, local banks and stuff like that, they won't do loans less than $50,000 unless they're doing an in-house conventional loan. But the fact that you guys do $30,000 is huge. Especially, tell me about investors? Do you guys do a lot of investment loans?
We are able to do investment properties. I have not done a lot yet. I've been over for about a month now. But we do have the capability of doing investment properties as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to send you some of my investors because I get a lot of those.
Absolutely.
Send them
I
our
get
way.
a lot of those. And they're always going in town because a lot of the requirements are a little bit less stringent. They go based off of the financials instead of their tax returns.
Gotcha.
So we'll just have to figure that one out.
One thing, we don't require tax returns unless you're self-employed. We do have to do an income calculation, but I haven't seen for like a W-2 employee, we haven't had to request tax return.
Yeah, and going back to that day one fast track, if you're employed with someone that uses the work number to verify information, and you're with a bank that uses account check, those two main points, we can do it really quickly because we just go in and verify your income, and then we have access to checking what is in your account, and having access to that information makes it crazy fast.
Yeah.
Crazy fast.
Kind of a little
And
scary,
cuts
isn't
down
it?
on documentation. Yeah, I mean,
It
it's
is.
technology
quick.
nowadays. Yeah.
It is quick. I feel like a major difference is how quick the processors move, and how as soon as we get the application, we get a contract in. I mean, our underwriters are going to be at least reviewing the borrower's information and getting them conditionally approved, and then all we have to do is wait for the collateral pieces to come in. So it just, to me, I get chills whenever how fast I see everything move and how efficient it is, and the communication is unreal. Yeah. So.
That's the key thing is communication. You want everybody
That's everything
on the
in
same
life.
page.
Yeah, and that's what makes the struggle for a home buyer so real. I mean, I don't know how many clients I've dealt with that they just are like so turned off by the process because when they finally, and it kind of sours things a little bit when they're first buying their home. So having that smooth operation from start to finish makes a huge difference in the psyche of a buyer or a seller.
It's an intimidating process. It's,
right.
For a lot of people, the biggest purchase you're ever going to make in your life. So to really be able to hold people's hand through that and be in communication with them the entire time is really important. You think of if you were buying a house for the first time, you want to know what the process is and how to get from point A to point B. And I think that's what we're
I
really
don't think that
passionate about.
when I first bought my house, I went straight to the bank and I didn't have a real estate agent. I didn't have nothing. It was a neighbor that we bought the house from. It was very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a different transaction, and it was pretty smooth. But I don't remember much of it. It was almost 25 years ago, so it was a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. All right. So, yeah, and that's what we were talking about with one of our guests one time is that people sometimes fail to really understand the struggle with a bank. Like they get kind of defensive about all the information, how intrusive the process is. And we have to we as real estate agents have to kind of smooth it over for you guys and be like, well, you are asking them for a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people sometimes, if you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And it's for your benefit because we want to make sure you're getting into a house that you can afford. We don't want to put you into something where a month later you're like, oh, wait a minute.
How can I make this payment?
Exactly. I didn't realize I had this much debt, and I didn't realize I was going to be adding this much more. You want to make it work smoothly for everyone involved. The lender wants to know that it's a good property they're putting you in.
Right.
You want to know that you can afford it. And, those are important things when you're making a big investment.
You have the ability to repay.
And you guys go, when it comes to your pre-qualification to the amounts, you guys go based off of debt-to-income ratio. To make sure that that's not going to conflict.
Exactly.
And so I know a lot of different clients have different debt-to-income ratios, but what's kind of like the norm?
So on a conventional, typically the maximum debt-to-income ratio you can have is 43%, and that's including your new house payment.
Correct.
So it's including that. We include your insurance, your
Taxes,
homeowner's insurance, and your property taxes,
and all your vehicle loans, and all of your
credit cards,
and
Anything
student
that shows up
debt,
on your
anything that
credit
should have.
report.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 40. You said 43%
conventional.
on conventional. So what is it for like FHA and VA?
So FHA, VA is a little bit different. They go off of a residual income. So we kind of have to do a different calculation, but your debt-to-income ratio plays into that. So
what does that mean, residual income?
Residual income is kind of like what you have left over after you pay all of your bills, including like house maintenance is included into residual income. And so they base that off of like the square footage of the house. We go off of like a VA calculation. So it's a VA requirement kind of. So
okay, just a little bit different.
But so
is it different for active duty than it is for retired, or it's just all VA is kind of the same?
All VA. If you're doing a VA loan, go off of residual income.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that to us.
I got it right.
Knowledge is power, so it's good to know.
And then FHA is
46% standard. So there's a lot that they look into. They're going to look into your assets too. They look at your debt to income ratio. They're looking at everything.
There's different criteria. Okay. Well, just in case anybody doesn't understand what debt to income ratio, it means that your total amount of income per month or per year, however you want to calculate it, it's easier to do it per month, divided by all of your bills. Like all your medical bills, just the minimum payments, though, not necessarily what you pay, but your minimum payments that are going to show up on your credit report. So your total income divided by your total debt, that percentage is going to be what your debt to income ratio is. Hopefully I got that right. Or is it the total debt divided by the income?
Total debt divided
by the income. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it's just flip it around. So put your total debt first, what you're paying for your car payments, your house payment, your credit cards, your anything that shows up on your credit report, just look at the minimum balance, and then take your income, net or gross? Gross. Your gross income, and divide it by that. And then that should show you what your debt to income ratio is. So if you want to know more or less what you can afford as far as a house, that's one way to do it. Another rule of thumb is usually, I've been saying $6 to $7 per $1,000 that you borrow. But that seems a little bit high now with all the interest rate. Oh, we can talk about interest rates too. Yeah. The interest rates, the way that they're so low right now, I think it's more like $5 or $6 per $1,000. What do you think?
That sounds about right, I would think.
Yeah.
I'd have to do the numbers, but
yeah,
because if you take
exactly.
If you take 100,000 and you multiply, or 100 divided times 6 is $600. So if you're buying a $100,000 home, a $600 mortgage payment seems pretty.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, reasonable.
Close to what you could get.
That would be with your PMI. Yeah. So there you go. if you're wanting to figure out what you can afford or what your mortgage payment would be. It would be about $600,000 for every $100,000 you borrow.
That does. And then Lou, going back to what you were talking about with credit, I think especially for a lot of people that are buying a home for the first time and just finished school,
What's
they
your credit
don't
limits?
know about how to fix their credit or even where their credit is at. I've got a good friend of mine who just applied, and she was like, well, I'm nervous to apply because, I've got student loan debts and I don't even know what my credit score is. One really great thing about Flat Branch is we've got tools that we've never had before to be able to go and pull people's credit score. And we've got this program called Wayfinder, where if we're wanting to see their score increase by an X number of points within a month, 2 months, 3 months, we can
tells
go
you what
in
to
and
do.
calculate exactly how much to apply to each credit line that we want to see go down and get their score. Most times it's 97% accurate as to what you're going to see reflect on your credit score going up according to the credit action plan that we can provide now.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that people can come to you to find out what their loan amounts would be, but not only that, but find out what they need to do in order to be able to eventually qualify for a home, even if they don't qualify for one right now.
We'll do a credit action plan, get you set up, and give you a time span and how long that's going to take. And then
That's crucial. That's crucial because sometimes people go into this saying, oh, I just, got a wild hair and I want to buy a house, and they go in to go buy a house and find out that they can't qualify. And so then 2-3 years down the line, they don't even think about buying a house anymore.
Right.
Because they've gotten discouraged by it. So if you talk to a real estate agent, that's one of your first things. And then we can hook you up with a lender that can help you figure out the process on how you can become a homeowner. Because sometimes it won't happen overnight, especially if you're a millennial or what is it, X generation? I don't know. I can't ever keep track. Gen Y, the next generation after the millennial. Yeah. So, a lot of the new generation is looking to become homeowners because they've seen how well it's gone for their parents and how much money their parents are making now by selling their property. So they're starting to get a little bit excited about that process. But then they either don't have any credit or they've got bad credit because they've made bad choices.
Right. And either way, we still don't want to say no. We want to say, hey, well, let's look at it and see when we can do it. Let's
and give you a timeline.
Instead of a lot of times you can go into a lender's office, apply, and they say, oh, sorry, you don't qualify at this time, but
check back in 6 months. Yeah.
Well, but you want to have a plan of, otherwise they're going to walk out the door and say, okay, well, I guess I'd do nothing and try again in 6 months or whatever the timeline is. But if you have a plan,
or get completely discouraged and continue to rent for the next 5 years, just wasting their money.
Right, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of times people are paying more in rent than they would be in a mortgage payment, and so
especially right now.
Right,
our market right now for rentals is just nuts.
Right,
it's just crazy.
You want to see people make those wise decisions, but then if they don't have the tools to know how, you want to be able to provide that,
And school doesn't really prepare you for these things,
No, they don't. And we have some tips as far as like what not to do.
Right.
Whenever you're getting a mortgage loan, while you're in the process, one of the things that don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job. Don't move.
Don't quit your job.
Buy a car.
Yeah, don't change jobs either. Also, don't switch to self-employment during the mortgage loan process. Those are major. Lenders really crave stability. They want 2 years of employment history that's stable. Because they want to know that your income is stable and likely to continue. That's a
high point.
Rule number 1.
Yeah. So if you've been working for a couple of years straight, now is a good time to take a look and see if you qualify for a home. If you just started a new job, don't be discouraged. You can still call them and find out if they can give you a game plan, basically.
A lot of rules, there's ways to work around them, but as
exceptions
far as
to the
having
rule,
a clean, smooth process as possible, a really good rule to follow is keep that employment steady, keep that income steady. If it's going to move any which way, you want to see that income going up, not down.
Yes, and being a student also can count towards employment history. So a lot of college students or those even out of high school, if you've been saving money and you've had a part-time job even, we can use your school as employment history.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fun. That's
Yeah.
cool.
We just usually get transcripts, and that backs up that piece. So, I mean, even if you're just out of school and you're starting a new job, you know, we can work around that too. So there's a lot of workarounds.
Yeah.
And you do good on refis as well, right? Refis, equity, lines of equity.
Yes. We do home equity loans.
Home equity loans, yeah.
Yes, and then we do rate term refinances.
Yeah.
So what's our interest rate doing? I know we heard some bad news this morning, right?
Yeah, rates aren't looking
this week a little bit.
Yeah,
but
rates aren't looking too good. And with Veterans Day, the markets were closed yesterday. So, I mean, I haven't pulled rates this morning. I just know that on Wednesday afternoon, they weren't as good as they were earlier this week, but that doesn't mean that there can't be a turnaround. Hopefully we'll see a correction and they dip back down a little bit.
What are they at, more or less? Do you remember?
Not
Were
off
they
the
at
top of my
above
head.
4?
I hate quoting it because
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's not safe to quote it because you just never know.
yeah, and
Right.
interest rates. I mean,
And it's all based on your credit or score and your income
your
and
debt
all
to
that
income
other.
ratio.
go
There's so many
into
pieces
it.
that go into it, but I mean, rates are. I mean, they're still really good. High 2s, 3s. You know, low 3s. You're looking at. Just it depends. So, still really good right now.
that's one really big selling point for Flat Branch too, is just, you know, in order to compete in this market, we have to be competitive with what the local lenders are doing, and they have definitely put us in a position to do that. So,
All right, ladies. Well, this has been really fun, and this is exciting.
I know I need this lighting at home now.
Yeah. This is my second episode without Mike, so I'm bumbling through a little bit.
Now we
so
don't
just
even need you, Mike.
no, don't say that. We need
Mike.
Mike. We need Mike.
We'll have
He's-
to come back and see Mike.
He's got
Yeah,
that
we
deep
do.
voice
Yeah.
that just makes it
I
all
know, that
kind of
radio
flow.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got an awesome radio voice.
For sure.
But this has definitely been the best looking panel we've had so far.
Oh, we won't tell anyone on your previous panels.
Yeah, if they unleashed us on the world, we'd take over, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, not a
you.
not a
This has been
problem.
really
You guys are
fun.
welcome
That's
anytime.
super fun. I know.
Anytime you guys want to come over, and I do the cooking, real estate, and crime episode once a week as
I
well.
like both of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how to make s'mores.
I usually I get those every meal's prepackaged things,
yeah.
and then I basically cook one every Monday or so
Oh, nice.
when I get my box.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we just talk about real estate
Yeah.
while I'm cooking. I'm not an expert cook, but you know,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
far I've been pretty good at it.
Been really spoiled. My husband does a lot of the cooking.
Oh
I hardly cook
no.
anymore. I know how
Yeah.
to cook, but he spoils me. So
Yeah.
Super sweet. Yeah. Oh.
That's always fun whenever
Yeah.
you have somebody that cooks for you.
Oh,
My
gosh,
daughter used
yeah.
to cook for me. Now that she's in college,
Now
I'm
we'll
like,
have to come cook for you.
yeah.
Yes.
We're good at picking up Chick-fil-A, McDonald's.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to stay away from as much fast food because, like I said, my daughter went to college, and so now it's just me, and I got to cook for myself, and I got to do my own laundry.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that everything that I've spent so much money and so much time going to fast food.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't
It's
realize
expensive.
it till after you add it up.
I know.
Yeah.
Right now I spend $40 a week on that box of food,
That's awesome.
and maybe once or twice during the week on fast food, or
Yeah.
you know, every once in a while I'll go to a restaurant or something
Yeah.
just to have something different.
Right.
But I haven't gone to the grocery store in last week I went once because I had needed 4 things.
Yeah.
Toilet paper and
At least
Yeah.
you had
and
a
dish
short
soap
list.
and
Yeah.
exactly, the things that you can't really do without.
Yeah.
But that's just it. I've noticed that my whole body feels better.
That's
Yeah.
good.
You know, like
yeah.
everything feels a lot healthier
Right.
because
yeah.
I'm cooking for myself now instead of eating all those
It's not all
preservatives out
dipped
there.
in grease and
Mhm.
fried and
Yeah. Well,
Everything's bad for
I
you
mean, it's
now.
already fried, but yeah, anything and everything will kill you.
Yeah, that's true.
true.
Moderation.
We're dying every day, y'all.
Yeah.
God, how depressing.
Every
No,
day you're
no, we
closer
can't
to death.
we can't end on a depressing note. So, but anyway, so if you guys ever want to come and cook with me or whatever, whenever we can do something like that, we can do research and find a crime that we want to talk about, because
Yeah.
every state seems to have something unique.
Yeah. Expert tip: get your borrower pre-qualified before you show them a house, so you know they're serious and they're not just showing up to murder you.
Oh, yes. I know. That's the
That's so
scary.
scary.
That's the scary part
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
episode that we did last night, is that she probably had no idea that the guy that was luring her to this house was going to kill her.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you never see it coming, right? That's how they get you.
Yeah. If they're serious enough about coming in and doing a pre-qualification and giving us their ID, letting us
Right,
pull their
then-
credit and
Yeah.
their history, you would
Not
know.
even if they do something bad at that point, at least now you have their information.
know
You
where to
can
find
track it
'em.
down, because I'm sure that the police didn't know anything about where she was
Right.
or who she was going to meet, because they didn't have her cell phone. They didn't have any of that stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, and it's really important as a real estate agent to let people know.
Let us keep you safe.
Let people know where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Try and
too.
get them pre-qualified. If they're not pre-qualified, then, tag a buddy.
Yeah.
For
Take
sure.
somebody with you. I don't know how many
Absolutely.
times I've done that. So,
Let
it's
somebody
just,
know
be
what you're
safe.
doing.
Yeah.
yep. All right, ladies. Well, it looks like we're out of time.
Oh,
But-
man.
I know we could do this all day, right? There's so much to talk about in real estate, and
Yeah,
maybe
there
people
is.
that are listening are like, "Oh, it's just another real estate episode." But to us in this
Useful
industry,
info.
yeah,
Very useful.
it's fun, because that's why we are in it, because we love it,
Yeah.
For sure.
Crunch
and
the
that's
numbers.
what you need as a client, to have somebody that loves their job.
Yes.
And these ladies love their job.
Yes.
So, well, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Strategic Moves with Lou. If you would like to reach us, you can call us at 940-689-7900, and it's strategicrealty.net. You guys tell everybody how to contact you guys now.
Yeah, so you can reach Flat Branch Home Loans. You can reach me on my cell phone number at 940-867-6959. Anytime. Call or text. I'm available.
Same here. I'm Kara's loan officer assistant, so anytime you can't reach her, I'm definitely her backup. Number is 940-224-5576.
All right, ladies.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
stay tuned. Check us out.
See you next time.